The evening was cold, and a gentle breeze rustled through the quiet streets of a small town. Streetlights flickered, casting long shadows on the pavement, mirroring the turmoil in Arjun's heart. He sat alone on a worn-out bench, staring at the vast, starless sky, his mind clouded with regret. Arjun had just lost his job, not because of his own wrongdoing, but due to a theft he had been wrongly accused of. The real culprit walked free, while Arjun, paralyzed by fear, had chosen silence over truth. Now, as he sat in solitude, the weight of his unspoken honesty pressed heavily on his chest. Doubt crept into his thoughts. Was honesty truly worth it? Or was it nothing more than an ideal that led to suffering? As Arjun sat in silence, lost in his thoughts, the soft shuffle of footsteps approached. An old man, draped in a simple yet dignified robe, stopped beside him. His face bore the gentle lines of wisdom, and his eyes, deep and knowing, seemed to see straight into Arjun's troubled soul. This was Guruji, a retired professor known for his wisdom and kindness. He often spent his days helping those who had lost their way, guiding them toward clarity and purpose. Observing Arjun's slumped posture and distant gaze, Guruji spoke in a calm, soothing voice. "What troubles you, my son?" Arjun hesitated, his heart heavy with words he hadn't dared to say out loud, but something about the old man's presence made him feel safe. After a long pause, he finally murmured, "Does honesty always bring good results? Today, I lost everything because I was honest, and yet, I remained silent." Guruji smiled, his eyes twinkling with understanding. "Let me tell you a story," he said, "and then you tell me, does honesty weigh you down, or does it make you stronger?" Guruji's voice was steady, carrying the weight of an age-old truth as he began his tale. Long ago, in a prosperous kingdom ruled by a wise and just king, there lived a merchant named Veer. He was no ordinary trader. He was known far and wide for his unwavering honesty. His words were his bond. His scales never cheated, and his customers trusted him without question. Because of his integrity, his business flourished, and he earned not just wealth, but deep respect from all who knew him. Arjun listened intently, drawn into the story. But where there is light, there is also shadow. Among those who envied Veer's success was a rich and cunning man named Sagar. Unlike Veer, Sagar thrived on deception, always looking for ways to manipulate and control others. Seeing Veer's growing reputation, jealousy burned within him. He devised a plan not just to ruin Veer's business, but to destroy his most valuable asset, his honesty. Guruji paused for a moment, letting the weight of his words settle. One day, Sagar visited Veer's shop, pretending to be a generous customer. He purchased a large quantity of goods and handed over a pouch of gold coins in payment. But hidden among them was a single counterfeit coin, an expertly crafted fake. Veer, trusting in his customers as always, accepted the money without suspicion. A week later, Sagar returned, his face twisted in anger. He threw a coin onto Veer's counter and bellowed, "You deceived me! You gave me a fake gold coin!" The news spread like wildfire. People gathered around, murmuring in shock. Could it be true? Had the great and honest Veer finally stumbled? Arjun leaned forward, his heartbeat quickening as he awaited what happened next. Guruji continued, his voice steady yet filled with intensity. The marketplace fell silent as Sagar's accusation echoed through the air. "You, Veer, the man everyone trusts, have cheated me," he shouted, waving the fake coin for all to see. His voice was loud, filled with manufactured outrage, ensuring that every passerby stopped to listen. Gasps spread through the crowd. The town had always believed in Veer's integrity, but now doubt crept into some of their minds. Could even the most honest man fall prey to temptation? Some whispered, Veer would never do such a thing. Others murmured, but why would Sagar lie? He is a wealthy man. He has no reason to make false accusations. The air was thick with uncertainty, all eyes turning toward Veer, waiting for his defense. But Veer did not react with anger or desperation. He did not argue, nor did he attempt to prove his innocence with heated words. Instead, he calmly picked up the pouch containing Sagar's original payment, placed it on the counter, and said, "I do not remember giving you a fake coin. But if I did, even by mistake, I would rather return everything than let my honesty be questioned." Take back the full amount." A hush fell over the crowd. Sagar smirked, thinking he had won. Surely, by offering to return the money, Veer was admitting guilt. But others in the crowd saw something different. A man who valued his integrity above all else, even above his own wealth. Just then, a voice rang out from among the onlookers. "This is not right. Let the king decide." The murmurs grew louder. Soon, the matter was no longer just a dispute between two men. It was a test of truth that would be judged by the highest authority in the land. The matter quickly reached the ears of the wise king who had ruled the land with fairness for years. Intrigued by the case, he summoned both Veer and Sagar to the palace. The grand hall was filled with noblemen, traders, and townspeople, all eager to witness the outcome of this test of integrity. Sitting on his throne, the king listened carefully to both sides. Then, with a measured gaze, he commanded, "Bring a royal jeweler. We shall examine every coin and let the truth speak for itself." The jeweler arrived, his tools gleaming under the palace lights. One by one, he checked each coin, meticulously testing their authenticity. The crowd held its breath. Then, at last, the jeweler stepped forward and announced, "Out of all these coins, only one is counterfeit, the very coin that Sagar presented as evidence against Veer." A collective gasp filled the chamber. Sagar's face drained of color as the realization struck. His deception had been exposed before the king and the entire kingdom. The king's expression hardened. "Sagar," he declared, "you sought to destroy an honest man with lies, but in doing so, you have destroyed yourself. Deception has no place in my kingdom." He ordered Sagar to be punished for his deceit, ensuring that such treachery would serve as a lesson to all. Turning to Veer, the king's expression softened. "Veer, your honesty was tested and you stood firm. I commend you not just for telling the truth, but for living by it." He rewarded Veer with royal favor, ensuring that his reputation as the most trusted merchant in the land was forever solidified. Guruji's eyes gleamed with wisdom as he finished the tale. "Now tell me, my son," he asked gently, "is honesty a burden or is it a strength?" Arjun sat in silence, the story echoing in his mind. He had always believed that honesty was about not telling lies, but now he saw a deeper truth. His real mistake had not been his honesty, it had been his silence. Had he spoken up when he was falsely accused, he might have lost his job, but he would not have lost his self-respect. Instead, by remaining quiet, he had allowed injustice to prevail, and the real culprit to go free. But it wasn't too late. He could still choose to stand for the truth. With newfound clarity, Arjun straightened his back and looked up at Guruji. "Thank you," he said with determination. "Tomorrow, I will do what I should have done from the start." The next morning, Arjun walked into his former office, his heart pounding but his steps steady. His manager, surprised to see him, raised an eyebrow. "Arjun, what are you doing here?" Arjun took a deep breath and spoke with unwavering resolve. "Sir, I have something to say. I did not steal the money. I remained silent out of fear, but today I choose honesty." Murmurs spread among his former colleagues as Arjun turned and pointed to the real culprit. "The true thief is standing right here." His manager's eyes narrowed, but instead of dismissing Arjun, he ordered an investigation. One by one, the facts unraveled, and soon the truth was undeniable. The real thief had been caught. The manager looked at Arjun, regret flashing across his face. "I see now that we were wrong about you. If you're willing, I would like to offer your job back." But Arjun smiled. Something had changed within him. He was no longer just the man who feared losing his reputation. He was now someone who understood that honesty is not just about telling the truth. It is about standing by it, even when it's difficult. With this newfound belief, Arjun's future took a different path. Years later, he would become a successful businessman, respected not just for his skills, but for his unwavering integrity. Whenever people asked him the secret of his success, he would smile and say, "Honesty is like a seed. At first, it seems small and weak, but if you protect and nurture it, it grows into a mighty tree that no storm can uproot." Years passed, and Arjun's life changed in ways he never could have imagined. No longer the hesitant young man burdened by fear, he had grown into a well-respected businessman, known across the region for his integrity and fair dealings. His name became synonymous with trust, and people sought him out, not just for his business, but for his wisdom. One day, as he sat in his bustling office, a young apprentice approached him hesitantly. "Sir," the boy asked, "what is the secret to your success?" Arjun smiled, remembering the long road he had traveled, the doubts, the fears, and the moment he had chosen to stand by the truth. He reached into his pocket and pulled out an old, worn coin, the same one Guruji had given him years ago. On its surface, the words "Truth Prevails" were faint but still visible. He placed the coin in the boy's hand and said, "Honesty is like a seed. At first it seems small and weak, but if you protect and nurture it, it grows into a mighty tree, one that no storm can uproot." The boy looked at the coin, then at Arjun, his eyes filled with understanding. Arjun leaned back, watching the apprentice absorb the lesson that had shaped his own life. Honesty may not always bring immediate rewards, but in the end, it builds something far greater: trust, respect, and a legacy that lasts beyond a lifetime.